it's Hannah again. Today we are going to be going over Kindle Direct Publishing, how to set margins, and how to customize your page size. So to start off with, KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing, it does have a cover calculator. And if you are looking to publish books, coloring books, journals, anything like that, you are going to need this tool. So you're going to go to Google and you're going to put in Kindle Book Cover Calculator. And the very first link here, you're going to go ahead and click that. Today we're going to be doing an 8.5 by 8.5 option. Now this is a size that does not come in a hardcover. So be really careful, because if you're creating a children's book and you want it to be able to be a hardcover, which has to be like 75, 76 pages. So a lot of times you're not going to reach that. Or if you want a really big coloring book, 8.5 is not the size for you, but that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to open this link, and our binding type is going to be paperback. Our interior is going to be black and white. Let's set this like we're going to make a coloring book. If you're doing illustrations or a children's book, is going to be premium color. We're just going to do black and white for now. Paper type, I'm going to do white paper, reading direction left to right, measurements, whatever you prefer. I prefer inches. Interior size. So we're going to go down to 8.5 by 8.5 and click that. I'm going to show you, if you hit hardcover and go to the sizes, these are the very limited options in sizes. So if you're looking to make a hardcover, make sure you click hardcover. Even if you're going to start out with a paperback, do the paperback, but make sure it has the same size underneath hardcover. And then our page count, we are going to do around 25 pages and calculate dimensions. So up here is the dimensions that you're going to need to be able to put in to customize your size. So you're going to go over to Canva, and we're going to create a custom size. And here's your width. You want to change your units to whatever you picked. So I picked inches, and we're going to go to our calculator. Now our width for the cover is going to be 17.306. 0.306. Then click over for your height. And then you're going to do 8.75. Now hit create design. Okay, so this just created your cover page. So you're not going to use this for your pages in your book. This is your entire cover that is going to be printed on your book. So what you're going to do is go back here, and you're going to download this template. And there it is. You're going to go and extract all. And I like to put mine right into my downloads. Select and extract. All right, now get rid of those. And we're going to go over to uploads, upload files. And you're going to go ahead and click the one that looks like the template. Now we're going to go ahead and open that. And you're going to fit it to your cover size. So what this does is it lays out what your entire cover is going to be. So the red zones, if you are creating a book that's going to have bleed on it, you still need to put something in that space. So generally what I like to do is just start out with a rectangle, and I fill both of these areas. Fill your little squares. And then if you hold down Control and hit D, it'll duplicate it. Okay, just make sure you're clicked on it. Control D, and then you can go ahead and move that over. Now leave your little binding spot there. That's going to be your little gap, and make sure you're centered. Okay, so this is lined up for your 2 pages. And then I like to create a third rectangle. So make sure it's clicked, Control D. This one I'm going to make black. And you're going to fill your entire box with this. Okay, now I move that to the very back. And you can see where your binding is going to be. And then you're going to go ahead and decorate your 2 squares how you want them. Okay, and then to finish your book cover, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and decorate all of this. If you don't want to have the separate squares, what you're going to do is go to Position and Layers, and then go ahead and delete your different squares. And then what you can do is you can take your template here, and if it's still on a layer, just move the layer up. And then you're going to go up to transparency and just make sure everything aligns the way that it should. The one thing it doesn't show you is at the very top right here and the bottom, it's going to say copyrighted material. So just be careful about that. And then once you're all ready, and you can go ahead and get rid of your template cover if you want. What you're going to do is you're going to hit share and you're going to save this as a PNG or a JPEG. And then you're going to come down on the same template that you just created this, hit add page. You're going to upload it to your upload files. You're going to click the book cover that you just created, and then you're going to extend it. And then this page, so page 2, is what you're going to actually save and submit to KDP for your book cover. You're not going to use the first one. If you use the first one, there's your graphics and everything are separate and it's not considered one big picture. So some of your graphics and things might not show up because Amazon's worried about copyrighted materials. So be sure to use the second page that's saved as an entire image. And then now we're going to go and I'm going to show you how to create your pages for this. So I already have this portion formatted, but what you're going to do is you're going to go to Google and you're going to type in KDP margins and you're going to click this very first link that says set trim size, bleed, and margins. Now they have videos on here that go through explaining how to do this exact thing because there is a little bit of math involved. They give you your calculations here. Basically, if you're going to do bleed and the way that they trim the books, you have to add, like here it's trim height plus 0.125. To be able to get the correct sizes so they can cut your book without cutting out your book's material. For the 8.5 by 8.5 inch book that we want to make, you're going to make it by, it's going to be 8.625 inches by 8.75 inches. And you can see that up in my right hand corner here. And then we're going to go ahead and show you how to set your margins to be able to create your coloring book. Okay, so if it's not already turned on, you're going to want to go to File and hit Settings, Show Rulers and Guides, or just hit Shift and R. And you want to be able to see these numbers here. Now you're going to go back to the Set Trim Bleed Margin page, and you're going to go down, and what we want to do is come down to the margin section. We have 25 pages, so our margin needs to be 0.375 inches. So we're going to go back to our page and you're going to start over here where your arrow, hold down your mouse and then just drag, and you want to get to 0.375 as closest as you can. And always go more than what you need. Just to be safe if you can't get exactly 0.375. So like here it's 0.370. We need to go a little bit further and it's going to give us 0.384. That way you're playing it safe. And then what you can do is instead of doing the math and dragging everything, you can come up to elements and you can grab a rectangle. And then you're going to fit your rectangle to the specific size of the margin and make sure everything's lined up. And then you can go ahead and move that to the other side. Go back over, drag your margin. Perfect. Make sure it's lined up. And then you're going to bring it to the top and the bottom, and you're going to turn it. Make sure it's at exactly 90 degrees. There you go. And then do the same exact thing. Okay. And then you can go ahead and delete that, and that should be applied to all of your pages from here on out. And what that shows you is that's the section that's going to have bleed into it. So your main coloring image, you want to be inside of the square, but I'll show you. Let's say we put in an image. I have this horse. Oop, not that one. Sorry. This horse here from a previous video. You're still going to want it to go to the edge. This area is considered bleed. So when your coloring book is printed and you select bleed, this is still going to show up, but it might not always be exact because of them trimming the books the way that they do. But if you click bleed, you have to have something in the background, otherwise they're going to yell at you. If you just leave it white and you were to center this, with a whole page that's filled, they'll probably yell at you. If it's just a simple graphic, um, say we're making a book for food, and this is one of your coloring images, they're probably less likely to yell at you. But if you have a background with sky and grass, you're going to want to format it so that way it's going end to end, just like that. Move it up a little bit, make sure that most of what you want is above that line. But that way you'll be safe with the bleed. And generally, KDP is really good about emailing you back and telling you, this isn't quite lining up correctly, or, they give you bullets to be able to correct whatever you need to correct. But that's how you make a cover. That's how you make your pages. Now, if you're doing a coloring book, I do recommend that you do every other page as an image. So if you go to your little scale down here, when you add pages, this will be an image, and then go to page 3 and make an image. That way, when whoever's coloring they're going to have a little bit of space in case their markers or their paints or things like that bleed through. Otherwise, it's going to go right through your pages onto the other images. And remember to stay within the 25 page limit that you said you were going to do. Otherwise, your cover isn't going to be correct. Now, you do have a little bit of leeway in there. Like this is 24 to 150 pages. The cover itself, I would put it in the calculator and just make sure that it's not a little bit bigger if you continue to add pages. If it is, then just go back and you can go to resize. Now, this doesn't always work. Sometimes they just add a black gap around it, so you're going to have to adjust things just a little bit. But that is how you upload a cover and create a coloring book. If you have more questions, if you want me to go into more detail, let me know in the comments. But that's the basics. And then what you do is you save everything and you take it over to KDP, upload it, and submit it to be published. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.